It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show Expresso on SABC3. Now, a recent study has revealed that South Africa has some of the worst drinking habits in the world. In fact, the level of pure alcohol that we consume yearly is between 10 to 12.4 litres, which is almost double what is consumed by the rest of the world. Now, alcohol is estimated to cost South Africa 37.9 billion rand annually, and this includes the costs of healthcare, of crime, social welfare, alcohol treatment and prevention, and road traffic accidents as well. So really, time that we do address this issue. In fact, right now, we're Skyping in with the director of Soul City's Institute for Health and Development Consumption, Dr. Susan Goldstein. Thank you very much for taking our call this morning, Doctor. And so let me just first start off by asking, why is it that South Africa has some of the worst drinking habits in the world?
Good morning, Expresso. Thanks for having me. South Africa, it's a difficult question to answer, actually, because I don't know why we have such bad habits, but our biggest problem is this binge drinking and drinking till we're really drunk. There seem to be some cultural connections, and by that I don't mean traditional culture, I mean the way that we drink culture. And it seems that various countries have different ways of drinking. So, for example, the Mediterranean countries all drink in a very safe way because they drink a lot, but they drink with their food. They don't drink to get drunk, whereas we drink specifically to get drunk. I work for Soul City, and we've been doing work in communities for a long time, particularly around health and a range of issues. And alcohol has always come up as one of the biggest problems in poorer communities, particularly. People's lives are completely disrupted. Money is spent unnecessarily and so on. So we see it as a really important health issue, a social issue for this country. And so we're trying to make a difference in that area.
And so how does this negatively affect the country?
Wow, a whole range of different ways. I mean, if you want to talk finance, we're spending over 39 billion rand a year on problems related to alcohol. And they fall into a number of different categories. The one is health problems. And alcohol has been associated with more than 20 different diseases, which include a range of cancers, liver disease, heart disease, etc. Alcohol is also associated with violence, traffic accidents, a whole range of issues, domestic violence, rapes of women, you name it, alcohol is there.
Wow. Now, Trade and Industry Minister Rob Davies gazetted a new policy for public comment and recommended that we implement a couple of rules, including increasing the drinking age from 18 to 21, that alcohol may only be sold at a distance of 500 meters away from schools, churches, recreational and rehabilitation facilities, that we restrict alcohol advertising as well as prohibiting sponsorship and promotions associated with alcohol. And these seem to be pretty simple changes, but do you think that they'll have the desired impact in order to try and change our drinking culture in South Africa?
You know, they do. They've been shown in many countries to have an impact. Of course, a lot of it will depend on policing of these things, but certainly raising the age, for example, has had an impact in a number of countries, specifically on things like traffic accidents amongst young people and that kind of thing, violence. The controlling of how alcohol is sold has been very well documented in many countries to make a huge difference in how people consume. And so, yes, I think that if we manage to carry it through and enforce it, I think it will make a massive difference.
And in your opinion, does the industry itself actually take responsibility? Because as profit-making companies and corporations, it's in their best interest to try and increase the intake of alcohol and not vice versa.
Well, yes, that's a sort of two-pronged question in a way, and I agree with you. Their job is to sell alcohol in as much as they possibly can because that's their bottom line. But so the way that we're suggesting that they do take responsibility is that we put a specific tax on alcohol that goes into a particular fund, which will then go towards preventing and mitigating alcohol harm. So we're talking about something like what we call a health promotion foundation, which is not administered by the industry, because it's been shown when the industry does do mitigation work on their behalf, they focus on things that are not going to affect the bottom line.
Well, Dr. Goldstein, thank you so much for taking our call there. We really do appreciate it. Now, of course, I think if we all think about it, the reality is that South Africans must take steps to address this alcohol-related problem because, as the doctor just said now, it really affects the country negatively in a whole range of ways, talking about that budget of 37.9 billion rand that we spend every single year. And, of course, families are affected and continue to be affected by alcohol abuse as well. And we urge you to contact the South African National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence if you do have a problem that needs to be addressed. Their number, 086 14 72 622. I'll say that again, it's 086 14 72 622. It's time right now to catch up with the early morning headlines with Zoe Brown.